There is no longer any doubt that our Christian faith is under attack, and in the next 5 minutes I'll prove it. Then I'll tell you how to fight back. First is the story of Michael Salmon, a man who spent 60 days in prison for being a witness for Jesus Christ. No, not in Iran or China or some other third world dictatorship, but right here on American soil in Phoenix, Arizona. I know it's hard to believe, but it's true. If you haven't heard this story, I'm not surprised. The mainstream media has been ignoring stories like this for years. That's why I made this video, and that's why I need your help to spread the word. Michael Salmon was locked in jail for holding a Bible study in his home, for witnessing the gospel to his friends, family, and neighbors. How did this happen? You see, his city government claims there's a special permit required to use his home as a church. That's right, local bureaucrats require special permission to host a Bible study in your own home. If that's not a blatant violation of religious freedom, I don't know what is. Ever since the time of the Apostle Paul, homes have been a common place for Christian fellowship and worship. Paul tells us in his first letter to the Corinthians about Aquila and Priscilla and the church that meets at their house. The book of Acts tells us that Paul traveled from house to house preaching the good news. How can anyone deny the war on Christianity when the age-old house church tradition is being torn apart by government bureaucrats? But there's even more. Dozens of Christian entrepreneurs and business owners are facing lawsuits, government investigations, court orders, fines, and even jail time for their religious convictions. And it's happening more and more every day. That's why it's up to you and me to spread the word. Will you post this video to Facebook and email it to everyone you know? But before you do so, please watch the rest of this video. The story of Elaine Huguenin shows how bad the persecution can get. Elaine is a wedding photographer in Albuquerque, New Mexico. When asked to photograph a homosexual commitment ceremony, she politely declined. In Elaine's own words, the message a same-sex commitment ceremony communicates is not one I believe. That should be the end of the story, right? Unfortunately, that answer wasn't acceptable. Elaine was investigated by the New Mexico Human Rights Commission, which found her guilty of discrimination and ordered her to pay $7,000. Elaine responded by saying, "If it becomes something where Christians are made to do things by law in one state or two, it's going to sweep across the whole United States, and religious freedom could become extinct." Elaine fought this all the way to the New Mexico Supreme Court, which ruled that a business owner does not have the right to turn away work that violates his or her Christian beliefs. Unfortunately, that's exactly what's happening. That's why I'm taking action with Public Advocate, a pro-family, pro-Christian organization committed to fighting back against these government abuses. And if you and I don't band together for our religious liberty right now, imagine how much worse it will get in just 5, 10, or 15 years. I shudder to think of the danger. So please, after you finish watching this video, sign the pledge below, putting yourself on record against government persecution of Christianity. Then share this video everywhere. If you and I can make these stories go viral, perhaps we can finally restore religious freedom in America. I'm sure you agree both of these stories are outrageous. There can be no doubt that Christianity is under attack, and you and I have an obligation to fight back. Here's what you can do right now. Don't let the media cover these attacks up. Sign the pledge below, putting yourself on record against persecution of Christians for their beliefs. Chip in just $10, $20, $35, or even $50 today to Public Advocate of the United States. Share this video with everyone you know. Post it on Facebook. Email it to your friends and family. Even show it at your church. You see, the final story of Christian persecution in this video is how rapidly the homosexual lobby has come after Public Advocate for fighting for our values. The Southern Poverty Law Center, a radically anti-family front group, has targeted Public Advocate for destruction. First, they filed a lawsuit against Public Advocate, wasting tens of thousands in legal fees. But I wish it just ended there. As you would expect after reading these other stories, radical homosexual activists have been threatening our lives for years now. And not too long ago, one came very close to carrying out one of these threats. Last year, a crazed activist walked into a fellow pro-family organization and started shooting. Thank God he was only able to hurt one victim before being restrained. But what you may not know is that the very same shooter targeted Public Advocate earlier that day. In fact, the FBI has confirmed that the shooter possessed a list of pro-family organizations he obtained from the SPLC's hate list, including Public Advocate. And according to eyewitness reports, the shooter was seen scoping out Public Advocate's offices just days earlier. Soon after this first failed attempt, the SPLC's lawyer posted the home address of Public Advocate President Eugene DelGaudio in public legal documents. Their actions have put his life and the lives of his wife and children in great danger. As you can imagine, these past few months have been tough on him, his family, and the staff here at Public Advocate. Just imagine how tough it is for all of us, worrying there could be an attack lurking around any corner at any time. And imagine the added pressure of fighting an expensive legal battle with the SPLC at the same time, a legal battle that could potentially force Public Advocate to close down its doors for good. Sometimes it becomes overwhelming. Aside from faith in God, the only comfort I have is knowing there are thousands of God-fearing folks like you standing behind us. And now, more than ever, I need to know I can count on your continued support. So in addition to signing your pledge below, I pray you'll consider chipping in just $10, $20, $35, or even $50 to our cause. And don't forget to spread this video to everyone you know. I can't thank you enough for joining in this battle. Without you and without God, we wouldn't stand a chance. Thank you, and God bless.